Okay, now I think. Yes, sir. Let's start. Strategies in enhancement in fruit protection. Animal husbandry, we are talking. We are not going for the total chapter. Strategies for enhancement in food production. We are going with that animal husbandry. The area when we are reading this kind of general topics, we need to recognize where there is a possibility of questions, where there is a particular in examination point of view. I am that I am requesting here to read more general area. That means more general information will find. So at the time when you are reading, if you separate all of them, that will be better for us. Let's start with animal husbandry. So it is the agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock by applying scientific principles. It deals with the care and breeding of useful livestock like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camels, goat, bees, silkworms for various purposes, the poultry farming and fisheries. 70% of world livestock is in India and China. Contribution to the world farm produce is only 25%, that is the product is very low. Management of farms and farm animals. Let's come with the dairy farm management. Dairying, the management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. Milk yield is primarily dependent on the quality of breeds in the farm. Selection of good breeds having high yielding potential and resistant to diseases is very important. This may be a statement question. The further yield potential, the cattle have to be well looked after, like housing well, adequate water, and disease free. The feeding of cattle in scientific manner, emphasize on the quality and quantity of fodder. Stringent cleanliness and hygiene both of cattle and handlers, that while milking and storage and transport of the milk and its products, this is general information. Okay, so why I'm saying here, I'm not going to say that you should not obtain knowledge from here. Okay, we obtain knowledge, but along with that, we should think in our examination point of view also. So how to ensure these stringent measures? Regular inspections with proper record keeping. It also helps to identify and rectify the problems. Regular visits by a veterinary doctor. Come with the poultry farm management. Is the domesticated fowl used for the food or eggs, broilers and chickens layers, we say. Broiler for meat and layers for eggs. The components of the poultry farm management. Selection of disease-free and suitable breeds will come as a statement. Proper and safe farm condition, proper feed and water, the hygiene and health care. Some varieties, we see that white leghorn. What is a breed? Breed is a group of animals related by a descent and a similar general appearance and features, size, configuration. That maybe belongs to the same species, but a group of animals related by descent and similar general appearance, features, size, and configuration. And the modification of the genotype of an organism to make more useful to the humans, the process we say breeding. The aim of animal breeding to increase and improve the yield and describe desirable qualities of the animals. That means in a particular flag, general example we are talking, in a particular flag, a particular cow is giving more amount of milk to the farmer. What farmer will do? So he allow that particular cow, he want the next generation from that particular cow only. Okay, so that means he selected that cow as a desire having desirable character. So when we do continuously like this, we develop a breed in that area. Okay, so the breeding strategy, like what we are talking about, it is a mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed. What do you talk about? Inbreeding. Inbreeding is the mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. That the breeding strategy here, the superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs. The progeny obtained are evaluated and superior males and females are identified for further mating. Okay, that we say inbreeding. In that we have actually two types, close breeding and line breeding. If we do with very close relatives, what do you say? Close breeding. Little distant relatives, we say line breeding. Inbreeding is having two types. As in cattle, a superior female, cow or buffalo, produces more milk per lactation. Then what do you call in superior male that gives rise to superior progeny? Nowadays, for dairy purpose, we are doing actually. So some of the superior cows, we are talking about Jersey. What is the advantage of inbreeding? It increases the homozygosity, at least that retain the characters whatever we have. That means within the breeding types when we are doing. I do remember you back again, the inbreeding is of two types. Close breeding, very close relatives. Line breeding of inbreeding is with little distant relatives. Cousin mating we use it to say. So what is the advantage here? It increases the homozygosity. It helps to evolve pure line variety. It exposes harmful recessive genes. That is going to be a dangerous issue here. It cannot be an advantage. Means if both are heterozygotes, that recessive gene will be expressed at least 25% in the next generation, isn't it? So that means it exposes harmful recessive genes. It helps in accumulation of the superior genes and elimination of less desirable gene. Advantage we see. This increases the productivity of inbred population. So, doing continuously inbreeding will make the inbreeding depression. It is the depression of the fertility and productivity due to continued inbreeding, especially close inbreeding. What we are talking, very close relatives, when we do, it's going to create this problem here. To solve this problem, what we do, mate selected animals with unrelated superior animals of the same breed. Okay, that will jump into the next type of breeding. Let's see here that inbreeding, only doing inbreeding make the recessive genes for exposure. So that is to solve what we have to do. We need to go for next one. That is outbreeding. It is the breeding of the unrelated animals. So we have two types here, outcrossing and crossbreeding. Okay, that is special type interspecific hybridization between the two different species. First of all, let's come with outcrossing. So outcrossing, that it is the mating of animals within the same breed having no common ancestors up to 4 to 6 generations. That same breed actually in outcrossing, but no relation. The offspring of such a mating is known as an outcross. Advantages, the new characters will be developed, like best breeding method for animals that are below average in milk productivity, growth rate in beef cattle. Likewise, it helps to overcome inbreeding depression. Next, the second one, cross breeding. There is, we do a cross between the two different breeds, superior males of one breed and superior females of another breed. Desirable qualities of two different breeds are combined. The progeny hybrid animals may be used for commercial production. They may be subjected to some form of inbreeding to develop new stable breeds that is superior to the existing breeds. Like Hizardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Bikaneri eels and Merino rams. The example to be remembered over. Bikaneri eels and Merino ram, when we do cross, we got Hizardale, a new breeding type. When we cross red, the white leg horn, that in case of fowls we are talking about, Vencobe, Ross, Hubbard, whatever created here, they're created because of the cross breeding only. Okay, mating between the male and female animals of two different species. This is separate one. This is the different one. Like here, the progeny may combine desirable features of both the parents. That you can see in this particular cross. When we cross the horse with a donkey, that what you got, mule. Controlled breeding experiments. Before we go here, I'm taking whiteboard for you. I'm taking whiteboard. Do you get the whiteboard? Yeah. Okay. So let me take a look of all this area, because with this we have an application. So we have close breeding. Then we have line breeding. Next, what next? Outcrossing. Next, cross breeding. Next, species hybridization, which is doing between the two different species. Okay, so let's talk about this particular area. Okay, close breeding and light breeding, we said it as inbreeding. NCRT says last three are outbreeding. Okay, so let me define first of all this. Okay, what is close breeding? Between the very close relatives. What is line breeding? Cousin mating, little distant relatives. What is outcrossing? Same breeding type but no relation from last 4 to 6 generations. Cross breeding, same breeding type, that same breeding, same breed, that what is it, between the two different breeds we see. Okay, so let me talk about this particular area. What is common in one and two? What is common in one and two? One and two is we are doing one and two. What is common? It was done in relatives. So these kind of applications, it was done in relatives. Okay. So what is common in one, two, and three? Okay, these are all same breed types. Same breed types. Okay, so we should analyze like this. We have a possibility. What is common in one, two, three, four? What is common here? When 1, 2, 3, 4, these are all same species, because the fifth one is going to be done with between the two different species. This is the one thing you need to know. And related to this particular area, we need to learn some more information like sex limited inheritance. Sex limited inheritance. We use this particular knowledge in dairy. In case of dairy, we do this because milk production. In dairy, what do you say? Generally, milk production. Okay, so who is responsible for the milk production, male or female? Definitely answer will come female. That means cow. But not like that actually. That for that only we need to learn this particular concept. Sex limited inheritance. What is sex limited inheritance? A particular milk production genes are present in both male and female, cow and bull, but expression limited to only the female, cow, only in the cow. So what do you call this particular information as? Sex limited inheritance. With these, what we came to understand? We came to understand that while doing cross breeding between the two different breeding types or outcrossing, the desirable male also having a great role in the production of milk, that we need to know. Okay, so one more, polygenic trait. Milk production in cow is a polygenic trait. This is also one more. Poly, many, genic trait. That means many genes are representing this particular character called milk production. So that how it will be helpful for us doing continuous cross again and again, that impromises, because single gene is not doing. The many dominant genes makes over the production of milk production. That's why doing continuous cross, it will be helpful. The ideal cross I am going to explain now. Ideal cross. And how to recognize the male is having desirable genes. So that the two things we have to go for. For that progeny test, these are all unrecorded issues. We may have possibility in examination, general issues. So first of all, let me say about progeny test. For that, let me take a desirable bull. Desirable bull, how we come to know that a particular bull is desirable or not? For that only we are doing the progeny test. My writing is weak here. I am doing with a cow. Okay, let me see here. Whatever we learned here, let us apply our knowledge in this particular area. 10 liters of milk. This cow is giving 10 liters of milk. So that means desirable genes are present and expression is there. So when we do a cross between these two, then offspring, that means the female children, the cow, that we brought up with 20 liters of milk. 20 liters of milk. Okay, so female offspring, what we got here is giving 20 liters of milk. So what you can understand? We can understand this bull is having desirable genes for milk production. What do you call this as? Progeny test. What is progeny test? By looking towards the progeny, estimating the desirable genes and the male, we say progeny test. So why? What is the necessity? Because this is sex limited inheritance. Means expression present only in the female, but genes are present in both male and female, but expression seen only in the case of female. That's why to know the particular desirable gene percentage in the male bull, we need to do this particular test. This is called progeny test. This is the progeny actually. This is the progeny. So progeny test used for, what do you say, progeny test used for to know the desirable gene presence in the male. Okay, this is the one thing. And very regular in examinations, that is what do you call that, upgrading. Upgrading, the very very important, or also it is called grading up. Upgrading or grading up. I'll give a live example here. I'll give a live example. With that we'll go with. Okay, so for that I am bringing Punjab Murrah. Do you know that Punjab Murrah is so famous for milk production? So Murrah male, I am bringing Murrah species here. Murrah male. So okay, please excuse me for this kind of writing. So this is Murrah male. We use symbol. That means Punjab Murrah species or breeding type is very famous for milk production. So we brought up Murrah male and local cow, doing cross with the local cow, Hyderabad cow. Okay. So okay, I do one thing. I'll type it here. No matter. Local cow. It's better for. Okay. Let me erase this. So we do cross Punjab Murrah male with local cow. So what do you call this kind of cross? What is this actually? What if I do cross between these two? We say this is out crossing or cross breeding. Cross breeding, because two different breeding types, isn't it? So we obtain an offspring. We obtain an offspring here with a little bit improvised progeny. We get the progeny here. So that female progeny we are talking about. So to get more desirable gene, as I said, this is the polygenic inheritance. In one cross, we don't get the total. So that's why what we are doing here, we are doing this particular cross. Again, this progeny is crossed with this female progeny crossed with their male Murrah. Again, that means to the father. Okay, so what do you call this kind of breeding? The earlier I said first cross, what do you said it as? It is cross breeding, isn't it? This is cross breeding. Then what is this then? This is close breeding. So while doing close breeding, we are doing close breeding here. So first we did cross breeding. Then after continuously whatever the offspring we get that crossed with this particular, the male, the father, what do you say? Close breeding. So this total procedure we call it as upgrading or grading up. That means over a period of time we develop this particular. So using these two, cross breeding and close breeding, we are going to develop a particular new breeding type. Okay, so that's it. Let me continue. Let me continue the topic here. That is application. You need to remember some more techniques. We are now going artificial insemination. As I said now, bringing Punjab Murrah male. Instead of bringing Punjab Murrah male transportation, we just transport. We collect the semen from there. The semen collected from the male parent is injected into the reproductive tract of the selected female. So what do you call it as artificial insemination? The semen may be used immediately or can be frozen for later use. The success rate of crossing is fairly low because even though artificial insemination is carried out. Okay, so multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, MOET. Just if you remember the full form, that automatically you can understand. Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. The total information given in the heading itself. A program for health improvement. It improves the chance of successful production of hybrids. What we do, superovulation, we say this as. A cow is administered with hormones with FSH-like activity to induce the follicular maturation, and superovulation. Instead of releasing one egg, here we are injecting hormone makes 6 to 8 eggs. Here the animal is either mated with a bull or whatever we brought out, that particular artificial insemination. So more fertilizations, more zygotes, 8 to 32 cell stages are recovered. Then non-surgically we can recover this and transfer to surrogate mother. One cow cannot accommodate all this number. That's why we transfer to the surrogate mother. Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology has been demonstrated for cattle, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, maize, etc. etc. The high milk yielding breeds and high quality meat yielding bulls have been bred to increase the head size in a short period of time with this particular technology. So beekeeping, apiculture, we say the beekeeping that just need to read like general information and should find out that area where there is a possibility of question. Like the maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey and bee wax. Honey is a food of high nutritive and medicinal value. The bee wax for production of cosmetics and polishes. That we know that there are three in the flock, that queen, which is a fertile female, drone is a fertile male, very important to be noted down. The worker is a sterile female. Apis indica, Apis dorsata, Apis florea. Among these, Apis indica is the most common species of honeybee. Beekeeping can be practiced in any area having sufficient bee pastures of some wild shrubs, fruit, orchards, and cultivated crops. Bee hives can be kept in one courtyard and the veranda of the house or the roof. What do you call them as that wooden boxes? These are all the beehive places. What is the important points for successful beekeeping? Knowledge of the nature and habits of the bee, selection of suitable location for keeping beehives, catching and hiving of swarms, group of bees, management of beehives, that during different seasons, handling and collection of honeybee and bee wax. Bees are the pollinators. Many crop species such as sunflower, brassica, nigra, apple, and pear. That keeping beehives in crop fields increases pollination also. Wooden boxes where we construct the beehives, we say apiaries. Then similar way, fishery is an industry of catching and processing or selling of fish, shellfish, fishery, other aquatic animals. That freshwater fishes, we do culture actually, that katla, labio rohita, Sirihina mrugala, which is called common carp. Labio rohita, commonly called rohu. Marine fishes like Hilsa elisha, like sardines, oil sardines, Sardinella langiceps, mackerel fishery, Rostreliger kanagurta, and pomfrets. The katla, you can see there, Bengal crab. Rohu, pomfret, the Hilsa elisha, that the most delicious fish of India and most rarest one also. Indian carps. Major carps are three: Katla, Labia rohita, and Sirihina mrugala. The fisheries have an important place in Indian economy, that income and employment to millions of fishermen and farmers. The aquaculture and pisciculture are the techniques to increase the production of aquatic plants and animals. We call it as Blue Revolution, the development and flourishing of the fishery industry. Then in the same way, we go with plant breeding. Plant breeding, uh, no need actually, no need. Plant breeding is not our topic. So that's it. While reading animal breeding, you people need to remember that the very important thing